Have you ever wondered how one man could shape the course of history? Let us journey back to 63 BC, to the birth of a man who would do just that. Gaius Octavius, known to us as Augustus Caesar. Born into an equestrian family, his life was destined to take an extraordinary turn upon the death of his great-uncle, Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar, a name synonymous with power and ambition, recognized a similar spark in his young great-nephew. On the Ides of March, as Julius Caesar's life was brutally cut short, he left behind an unexpected legacy. His will revealed that he had adopted Octavius, making the young man his primary heir and thrusting him into the political spotlight of Rome. Now, imagine Rome in the 1st century BC. It was a city teetering on the edge of chaos, its democratic republic crippled by corruption and internal strife. The assassination of Julius Caesar had left a power vacuum, and Rome was a ship lost at sea, yearning for a steady hand to guide it. Octavius, barely out of his teens, found himself amidst a storm of political intrigue and power plays. Despite his youth, he navigated these treacherous waters with uncanny skill. He formed strategic alliances, outmaneuvered opponents, and emerged victorious in bloody civil wars. His victories on the battlefield were just as remarkable. From Philippi to Actium, Octavius demonstrated exceptional military acumen. Each victory not only consolidated his power, but also brought him one step closer to his ultimate goal, absolute control over Rome. In 27 BC, Octavius was granted the title of Augustus by the Roman Senate. It marked a significant turning point, the end of the Roman Republic and the birth of the Roman Empire. But this was just the beginning for Augustus Caesar. And so, a young Octavius found himself at the helm of the Roman Empire, ready to usher in a new era. With Rome under his control, he was poised to reshape history, leaving a legacy that would echo through the ages. But that, dear listeners, is a story for another time. In 27 BC, Octavius was bestowed the title of Augustus, the revered one, by the Roman Senate. This marked the dawn of a new era, a profound shift from the tumultuous period of the Roman Republic to the relative stability of the Roman Empire under one man's rule. Augustus, the grandnephew and adopted son of Julius Caesar, was a shrewd and cunning leader. He established a political system known as the Principate, a clever guise that concealed his autocratic power. On the surface, it appeared that Rome was still a republic, with the Senate retaining its legislative authority. But in reality, Augustus held the reins, wielding his power with dexterity and tact. He was the Principate, the first citizen, an unassuming title that belied the magnitude of his influence. A significant part of Augustus's reign was marked by his military campaigns and territorial expansions. He fortified the empire's borders, securing peace and stability for Rome. From Spain to Egypt, from Gaul to Syria, the Roman Empire expanded under Augustus's strategic leadership. These conquests not only added to Rome's wealth and power, but also laid the foundations for the Pax Romana, a 200-year period of relative peace and minimal expansion by the military. But Augustus was not just a military leader, he was also an administrative reformer. He recognized the need for a more efficient tax system, one that would ensure a steady revenue stream for the empire. He introduced a census, a systematic and regular count of the empire's population, which served as the basis for equitable taxation. This reform not only improved Rome's financial health but also increased the accountability of provincial governors, reducing corruption and maladministration. Augustus also saw the necessity for a standing army, a permanent professional military establishment. He reduced the size of the army, making it more manageable and less of a financial burden. He set up a military treasury, the Aerarium Militare, funded by new taxes, to provide for retired soldiers. These measures not only ensured a more disciplined and loyal army, but also mitigated the risk of military coups. Augustus's reign was marked by a balance of power and benevolence, of military might and administrative acumen. He was a leader who understood the nuances of governance, who knew when to wield the sword, and when to extend the olive branch. His rule set the stage for the Roman Empire's golden age, a period of prosperity and peace. Under Augustus's rule, Rome flourished, yet his reign was not without its challenges. Despite the prosperity and peace, there were periods of strife and conflict, of power struggles and political maneuverings. Augustus's reign, like the man himself, was a complex interplay of light and shadow, of triumphs and trials. But that's a story for another scene. Even the mightiest rulers faced trials and tribulations. Augustus Caesar was no stranger to these challenges. For one, he grappled with personal health issues throughout his reign. He was frequently ill, a condition that often left him on the brink of death. This not only impacted his ability to rule directly, but also created a sense of uncertainty and instability within the empire. In addition to his health, Augustus faced the heartbreaking loss of his heirs. His nephew Marcellus, his son-in-law Agrippa, and his grandsons Lucius and Gaius all predeceased him. This string of deaths left him without a clear successor, a situation that put the continuity of his dynasty at risk. Political threats also loomed. Conspiracies, both real and imagined, were a constant source of concern. Augustus had to navigate these treacherous waters with wit, cunning, and an iron will to maintain his grip on power. Augustus passed away in 14 AD, leaving his empire in the hands of his stepson Tiberius. His death marked the end of an era, but his influence was far from over. His reign had set a blueprint for future Roman emperors, one that emphasized stability, prosperity, and the rule of law. Augustus's legacy is monumental. He transformed Rome from a republic to an empire, championing a new form of government that would endure for centuries. His administrative reforms, his building projects, his efforts to instill Roman values, all left a lasting impact on the Roman Empire. His rule was a turning point, one that shaped the course of Western civilization. Yet his influence extends beyond the borders of Rome. His life and rule continue to captivate scholars, historians, and enthusiasts alike, inspiring countless books, films, and debates. His story serves as a reminder of the complexity of power, the fragility of life, and the enduring influence of a single individual. Augustus Caesar, a man of many faces, a politician, a general, a reformer, and above all, a ruler whose legacy continues to echo through the annals of history. So, what have we learned about Augustus Caesar? From a young lad in the tumultuous times of Rome to the first emperor of the Roman Empire, Augustus Caesar's life has been an epic tale of ambition, power, and resilience. His rise to power wasn't an easy journey. Navigating through political turmoil, he skillfully managed the transition from the Roman Republic to what would become the Roman Empire. His reign, marked by peace and prosperity, was a testament to his astute leadership. Augustus wasn't just a ruler, he was a reformer. He brought about changes in administration, military, and infrastructure, essentially reshaping Rome and leaving an indelible mark on its history. But his legacy extends beyond his life. His political system was so effective it shaped the Roman Empire for centuries, laying the foundation for future emperors. Augustus Caesar, the first emperor of Rome, whose reinvention of the Roman political system would shape the empire for centuries to come.